to decorate our big game donuts. These fun, sparkly donuts can be used for your favorite game for basketball or football season. We're going to decorate these in 2 steps. First, we'll start with our Raised A donut yeast rings. We've iced it with our chocolate fondant. Then for my decorations, I'm using a combination of gold and silver sanding sugars and crisp pearls in white, milk, and dark chocolate. Ever wonder how you get those perfect cornets that never fall apart? This is a really cool technique to make paper piping bags that I'm gonna show you real quick. I use them on my big game donuts to pipe with chocolate. So here we go. You can start with either a full or a half sheet of parchment paper. First thing we're going to do is cut it in half with a French knife. Next thing we're going to do is line up the bag so that we see a perfect triangle here with 2 rectangles on either side. This is really important, probably the most important step, okay? We're gonna cut it one more time with a chef knife. You'll notice that my bags are not triangles. They've got a little divot on the end. This is on purpose. Let me show you why we do that. Next, when it's time to make the bag, take your thumb, line it up from the end. The little tip that does not have an end on it is what goes in first, like this. Pick it up and pinch it. This tip now comes around the bag. And when we start sliding it together so we get a nice tip, you'll notice I have this little piece that sticks out the end. That's important. This is what folds into the bag and holds it together. In this way, when your folks have downtime, they can make a whole bunch of these and put them on their station for the week. Now, let me show you how to load this little bag. We have this tip that comes out here. This is where the chocolate goes in. This is the one part of the bag that stays dirty. Okay, notice how I loaded it in right through the tip. Once I've loaded the bag, only half, bag is full when it's half full, we're going to take that tip and fold it in, thereby cleaning it so I don't have those drips anymore. I'm going to turn the bag slightly so that the seam is up the back. This is really important. Seam should be up the back. Flatten it and fold towards myself using the seam at the back. In this way, as I put pressure on the bag and pipe with it, I'm moving away from that seam so the bag stays closed as I use it. You'll always get perfect even pressure to pipe with chocolate. And the cornets never fall apart. Now I'm going to drizzle that gorgeous white chocolate onto my donuts. I only drizzle them on the ones where I've sprinkled half. And now for the most important part of our big game donuts, the donut holes. These little donut holes are also done with Raised A and dipped in the same flat icing we used earlier. This whole decoration technique I showed you, if you have a favorite hometown team, you could use the team's colored icings, and instead of the decorations I used, you could use sprinkles and team colors. So this is just kind of an idea, and you can use whatever color palette makes sense for your shop. Now we're going to decorate the donut holes. For this decoration, we're using melted chocolate. This is white Van Leer Shine. The biggest difference between piping in chocolate and piping in buttercream is that in buttercream, you use a technique called drag. You hold the bag like this, off to the side. For chocolate, you use a different technique called drop, upright. This is why we make the cornets differently. Now, we are going to pipe footballs on half of these and basketballs on the other half. Let's start with footballs. We're going to do a little half arc, another half arc, line up the middle, and then the laces on the ball. Finally, let's finish up these big game donuts. If you're doing basketball, you're gonna take that little basketball donut hole and just set it on top of your other donut. That's it. Now we have a fancy, fun, big game donut.